What's up, family? Y'all already know what time it is. It is Bible and business. It is Tuesday. It is time for you to learn how to make a dollar and make a difference. Good evening, my brother Robert. Thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for tapping in. Always ready. I'm excited about our conversation today because I'll be honest with you, it is probably my cheat code for business. It's not going to be what you think unless you read the description. Then you may have a hint. But what we're going to talk about today, I believe, is the foundation for a prosperous future, not just earthly future, but eternal future. Good evening, Rolanda. Appreciate you joining us. What I want to focus on today is not going to be your traditional conversation as it relates to business. It's not about marketing. It's not about operations. It's not about product pricing. It's not about organizational development. It is about integrity. That is not a word you will hear very often in business, just depending on what circles you run in. But if we are calling ourselves disciples, if we're calling ourselves followers of Christ, then the crux of our business, our leadership, has to be integrity. Because Jesus said these critical words. What good is it if you gain the whole world but lose your soul? I'm going to rewind and repeat that for you. What good is it if you gain the whole world but lose your soul? That says it all, doesn't it? So many leaders, business owners, people who are gifted out of this world, they lose what's most valuable for money. Now, we need money. I want all the money my character can handle. I won't apologize for being successful, but I have to get the bag within boundaries. Fatima, did you get that? Lee, did you catch what I just said? You have to get the bag within boundaries. There is no point in being successful but having no soul at the end of the day. I have to get the bag within boundaries. If you get rich, that's good, as long as you got rich within righteous guardrails. So many times we forget what's most important because we fall into the comparison trap, because we're trying to fill a void in our life that can't be filled by money, power, success, fame, fortune. And we just keep running and running and running and running until we've got all this money, all this power, all this popularity, but are bankrupt as it relates to our soul. And anybody that has gotten to that point will tell you it wasn't worth it. They would give the money back. They would give the power back. They would give the fame back if they could have a sanity, if they could have a peace. We're doing a Bible study on practicing the way, and I told those in that Bible study that what killed Michael Jackson wasn't drugs. It wasn't, I don't even know what it was called that the doctor was giving him to help him sleep, etc. What killed Michael Jackson was fame and fortune. Because you can be so famous. Man was not meant to be worshiped. Only God has the capacity to handle worship and it not crash him out. Only God can handle a certain level of glory. And if man gets a glory that belongs to God, it will destroy them. It will make you do silly things. It will cause you to crash out. Oh, that's right, Lee. Righteous guardrails. Thank you for Timo. Biblical boundaries. We want to be successful as purpose-fueled leaders. We want to go where God is calling us to go. And yeah, we need money to get there. But what we will not do is sacrifice integrity for income. Let me get into the conversation a little bit deeper. Let's break it down this way. Let's go. Let me go back before I go forward. Y'all remember this text. You are the light of the world, a city on a hill that can't be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Remember, I need to go back before I go forward. Shout out to Anna and Rolanda who've been holding me down as I've been traveling, etc. They did a great job. I just want to reset a little bit. Remember, we're a light, but the light that we shine is coming from Christ. That's why we call ourselves a prism, but because a prism allows light to go through it. And so what kind of light do we shine? It's a productive capacity. That's our ability to cultivate, manage, and multiply. The light is a relational capacity. It's our ability to build meaningful and covenant relationships. It's an intellectual capacity, our ability to think, reason, and plan. This prism is a spiritual capacity, the ability to know God personally. And it's a moral capacity, the ability to choose right over wrong and reflect God's character in whatever I do. So the reason we call this a prism is because what a prism does is it allows whatever is shining to go through it in a beautiful way in different aspects. And so the prism is productive, it's relational, it's intellectual, it's spiritual, it's moral. That's God's light. That's his different aspects of how he shines through us. And that acronym is PRISM. Now, today we're talking about the M. That is our moral capacity. That is our ability to shine God's moral light. Did you get that? It is our ability to be like God in business. Proverbs says a false abomination is what? Don't miss it. An abomination to the Lord. A false balance. In other words, doing business in an unequitable way, charging a person more than what the product is worth. No, it's not. I'm not talking about don't make a profit, because you need to make a profit to sustain and scale the business. But you can price gouge. You can, Shayla, you can run the prices up further than what integrity calls for. And Proverbs says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So when you would go to the marketplace, one of the ways that they would make sure that they were getting paid what they would get paid is they would have these scales. But there was a way that you could tip the scales and make it look like you were doing something honest, but you were really doing something dishonestly. And so what the Bible reminds us is when we do business, there should be a balance. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Just because I can charge it doesn't mean I should. Just because I have the power don't mean I have God's permission. Are we filtering our decisions through our faith? Do we have a biblical worldview? Are we handling clients the way God would call us to? Are we handling our partners the way that God would call us to? Are we anchoring our business on the foundation of our faith? That's a good question. I appreciate it, Lee. I'm trying. Don't be, do not have a false balance. Always aim to give more than what your competitors do for a better price. If you're a believer, you will never have to worry about going broke when you give immense value. It's amazing how much income you can make when you're giving immense value. As a leader myself, I often say, don't pay anybody to do something that you hadn't seen them do for free. But because ultimately, when something's in your heart, the money's gonna come because they're gonna be excellent at it. They're gonna be passionate about it, and it's amazing how profit follows passion. Let's keep going. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Truth builds trust. If you want somebody to do business with you not once but twice, you have to get them to be able to trust you. So if you have a false balance in your business, you may get the bag from a person once, but you won't get it again. And not only won't you get it again, Anna, check this out. Once you get a bad reputation, once you are known for not having integrity, oh, you may have gotten money from one client, but you lost 5 because they went and told everybody your business was whack. Did you hear what I just said? Sometimes we have such short-term view. Do you know the tree that grows the tallest and grows the strongest takes the longest to grow? If you really want something that's strong and valuable, it may not sprout up overnight. Things that sprout up overnight, a plant that sprouts up overnight is not deeply rooted and it doesn't last long. Have a long-term view in business. As a matter of fact, here's a cheat code for your bag. The most successful businesses will lose money to acquire a client. Immature business owners will try to make all the money they can from one person. A mature business owner will actually lose money in the short term for a long-term perspective. Go and study Amazon. Go and study Jeff Bezos and how he did business. Amazon, even though they were valued in the multi-billions, was losing money every year because he would take all of the money that he was making and reinvest it into the business. He would actually acquire customers at a loss. So it may take him $5 to get the customer in. I'm just throwing numbers out as an example, but they would only spend $4. And he was cool with that because he was saying, one day I'm going to have so many clients, even though I took a loss to attain them, as long as they keep coming, I'm going to be able to scale and grow. Think about that for a moment. Let that sink in. Oh, Fatima, you in my message. You getting ahead of me. Man, listen. We need a long-term perspective in business. I know that that's not easy. But I'm telling you, as Fatima just said, character is your true currency. Do not. What was I can't remember what it was. It was a story that we used to read back in the day. Was it the golden goose? Somebody help me out with this. I'm on live. I'm streaming. Don't let me embarrass myself. It was a story, and I think the golden goose would lay a golden egg every day. And then the person got so greedy that they tried to cut the goose, I guess, to get all the eggs, and they ended up killing the prophet. They were so impatient. They tried to get it all at once, so they ended up getting nothing at all. Some of us run our companies that way. I know it's tight as a small business, but you got to think about that when you start the business. You have to that's why sometimes it's not smart to just pop out with a great idea, quit your job. No, let that job be the salary for your business. Let you working at McDonald's, let McDonald's pay you to start your own business. So when you get off of McDonald's, you go home and you work from 6 to 10 for yourself, and you can grow a healthy business. Why? Because you don't need the money from your business to pay your salary. So use where you are to help you get to where you're called to be. You got to do what you don't want to do what you do want to do. But business owners that pop out too soon, unfortunately, it ends up impacting their integrity because they can't run their business the way that it needs to run, but because they're making short-term decisions. Let's keep going. Let your yes be yes. This is true character. And your no be no. Stop with the faking. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. This scripture in context is talking about, this is actually Jesus saying this, and he was talking to people who exaggerate to try to prove a point. That they say, I swear to God, to try to make you think that they're telling the truth. And Jesus says, chill. Let your yes be yes, mean what you say, and let your no be no. But let people whose words have weight don't have to say as much. People with character don't have to overtalk. If you sit in a meeting, sometimes the person that's doing the most talking is the least trustworthy. Why are you talking so much? Why do you keep interrupting people? Why do you have to be the center of attention? You think it makes you look strong, but a person with discernment will be able to tell, yo, yes ain't yes. You trying too hard. You compensating for something. Oh yeah, say what you mean what you say. Y'all check this book out. I think this is a good book. The 10% Entrepreneur. Y'all check that out. Thank you, Anna. Let's keep going, family. Integrity is simple. It's doing our best to do what we said we would do. It's really just that simple. The word integrity comes from the word integer. Integer means whole. It means wanted. So a person with integrity is whole. They're not two-faced. They are integer. They are one. They are whole. You know what you're going to get. Now, the reason I like this text as it relates, I know you may be thinking iron sharpens iron. What does that have to do with integrity? Let me give it to you. It's if you can be held accountable, you'll be more integral. See, accountability systems create relational and structural checks that keep leaders aligned, responsible, and growing. You don't have to try to drift. Excuse me. Life has a natural drift. You don't have to try to be out of shape. That happens naturally. Most people don't have to try to overspend. That happens naturally. People don't have to try to not be disciplined. That happens naturally. There's a natural drift to life. There's a natural drift away from what you should be focused on. And so what accountability does is it allows people to let you know that you may be drifting. So iron sharpens iron, and sometimes when iron is sharpened iron, sparks can fly. It's not always pretty, but at the end of the day, if you surround yourself with people who you believe love you, that are full of wisdom, that really want what's best for you, they're not haters. They really do care. They'll be able to hold you accountable in a kind way, in a loving way, not in a way that's going to make you feel bad or to make you not want to be in relationship with them. That a real friend will be able to talk to you and remind you about what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be doing, who you're supposed to be doing it with. A good friend will hold you accountable. And accountability is very helpful when it comes to integrity because they're going to let you know if you don't seem whole. Isn't that good? Your circle will help you become successful long term. Here's the biblical and business insight. Accountability sustains capacity. Isolation sabotages calling. The enemy wants you to isolate yourself. Look at me. All eyes on me. The enemy does not want you in community. You need community. You need a circle. You need people who can hold your hands up. You need people who can help you to see your blind spots. People who are isolated can't see their blind spots. But if you're in community, if you have a circle, think about a circle. If you have a circle, you've got everything covered. You got your sides covered, you got your back covered, you got your front covered. But if you're isolated, the enemy can attack you because you got blinders on. Don't let the enemy isolate you. I told somebody a couple of days ago that the richest people in the world don't own 100% of anything. Sometimes we can be so proud of what we have that we don't want to share it with anybody. My business is like my baby. You say you want to scale and grow, but the devil is a liar. You don't want to scale and grow because you're afraid. You're scared to let things go. You're scared to lean into other people's gifts. You say this, to get something done right, I got to do it myself. That's not leadership. And you isolating yourself. Would you rather own something that's worth $100,000 and own 100% of it, or own something that's worth 100 million and own 10% of it? The richest people in the world don't own 100% of anything. Think about that for a moment. Why? Because they surround themselves with some monsters. man, think of that. Nike's board. Look, go check and see who's on Nike's board. Some monsters. And it's good to be around hungry people because it drives you. It's good to be around people who gonna hold you accountable because it drives you. It makes you gotta feed wolves, because if you don't feed a wolf, they're gonna turn around and eat you. But it's good. Because when you surround yourself with successful people, they will help you to execute in excellence. And when you execute in excellence and you do things in integrity, your business will level up and income will follow integrity. Trust me, you will reap what you sow. Don't take the shortcut. Short-term pain leads to long-term profit. But watch this. Short-term pleasure leads to long-term pain. Take the shortcut. It may feel good in your business for a moment, but it'll mess you up. Have a short-term view. You may make more money faster, yeah, but you won't make it as long. Anchor your life, your leadership, your business, your relationships in integrity. Because this is what our buddy was saying earlier, Fatima, that a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Did you get that? A good name. If somebody said, would you prefer $1 million or a good name? What the text is teaching us is you better choose a good name. Because if you got a good name, you'll always have a currency. Because your name can get you in rooms your money can't. Oh my goodness. Do you know we're in the city of the Masters? Do you know you can only get in the Masters? That's the golf tournament for those of you all who don't know. The biggest golf tournament in the world, the most popular golf tournament in the world. You know, money can't get you in the Masters. You only get it in not through income, but through invitation. God will put you in rooms through invitation because of your name. I have been able to get grants and access to certain things, not because I had money, but because I had a good name in my city. And because people trusted me to do the right thing, they brought things to me that my money could have never bought. Lee said, I choose a good name. Absolutely. Stop chasing that money and get you a good name. Stop taking shortcuts and get you a good name. And you can build a business on a good name. The bank will give you money if you got a good name. You'll be able to get good partners if you got a good name. You'll be able to get a good board if you got a good name. People will want access to you and pay for access to you because of your name. Man, listen. Shayla said she been to the Masters. Your daddy had a good name, Shayla. Woo, let's see what Rosita says. This is good. Your name can get you in rooms your money can't. Absolutely. I want us to pray about our names. Are we living our lives with integrity? Are we running our businesses and our families and our careers with integrity? That's the question, family. Because Jesus was an integral leader. Everything Jesus said, he did. Everything he promised, he fulfilled. And that's our model. Let's choose a good name. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the reminder today that our name means more than our bank account, that our name means more than our business. Thank you for the reminder today that we should center our lives on integrity, because we're a prism and your light can't shine if we don't have character. Your light can't shine if people don't trust us. Your light can't shine if we can't keep our words. How can we call ourselves disciples if our word means nothing? How can we lead somebody to Christ if they can't trust what we say or do? So, Father, I pray that you will help us to protect our name, to operate always like somebody is watching, because somebody is. We're putting on for an audience of one, and that is you. So, Father, I pray that all of our businesses, all of our leadership will be based on the foundation of integrity. And because we put you first, I pray that you will do the things that only you can do to prosper us and grow us. Amen. I appreciate you, family. Thank you for the 30 minutes today. Do me a favor. Smash the share button for me. Share this Bible and business stream with somebody that's following you that may not be following me. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Blessings.